Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And we are watching Lucifer. This is part 3. So if you missed part 1 or part 2, then you can find the playlist of all of these parts in the description below this video, where you can go there, watch them, and then join us back here where we are just now getting into the next part. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, sharing, and upvote the video by slapping the like button.
No, you won't. I have a feeling you're gonna find your pants down.
Ever since I first saw this guy, I've been waiting for him to get his. Yeah, that'll do it. The
cleaners. The cleaners. Oh, love the whole
backlit.
The crucifixion sort of Christ kind of like coming through. Angel. Yeah.
It's like, dude, how dare you get your blood on my shirt?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Oh.
He knew they were behind. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Press conference. Stephen, NPT funding issues. Stephen, you have a message.
You're a...
Of course.
We just paid you off, and we paid off in the future.
This deal is with the devil.
I love it.
Sell your soul.
I know. I had some work.
Oh,
I told you. He had a great answer. I had some dirty work to attend to. I love it.
That's a lot of reading to do before the conference, right? I mean... That's all the dirt on Bobby, I think, right? Yeah. And what's that guy been doing held up in that room for so long? This is going to be perfect. He's going to be taken down by his own drug overlords.
Yep. So, hey, he doesn't have to get his hands dirty.
Mr. Bimal Nair is an anti-national criminal.
Ho ho! Call him out.
Oh, flipping that little.
നിന്നോട് ആരാടാ പറഞ്ഞത് നീ വിളിച്ചിട്ടാ ഞാൻ വന്നത് ഞാൻ വന്നത് എൻ്റെ ചേട്ടൻ വിളിച്ചിട്ടാ
His brother.
Steven.
I've just received news.
Just get me to Maldives. A chopper, speed launch, anything.
They don't owe you anything, man. It's not going to be that simple. He plays the game well.
സാറിൻ്റെ ആ പഴയ ഫാമിലി ട്രിക്ക് എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് എടുക്കാൻ തോന്നുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് വേണം കേട്ടോ
Ooh, that's basically what he's saying.
ഞാൻ സ്റ്റീഫൻ തനിയൻ തന്നെയാ
Good. I love so many of these callbacks are really well done. Whoa.
It's the belly button dance. Am I right that this is the secret club inside of that city?
Yeah, that he walked into before. Yeah.
I just have to go along with the dancing and the music because there's no translations. Oh, some new club goers.
This party's about to be crashed.
Yeah. And with all the explosions,
Right.
nobody gonna even hear. Oh, come on in.
Yeah, honestly, like if you're gonna have like some gun shootout or something, on Diwali is the perfect time because all those explosions.
all those
It's
explosions.
outside the window, it sounded like a war zone.
It
where we're
did.
sleeping, like,
Yeah, I'm just
sound
like,
bombs
wow.
going off.
Yeah. Hello? Do I know you? It was the little stand guy. What makes you just saw him take down? What makes you think you could take him?
Maybe they're like, the first guy made him so tired.
Oh, so I know how to take care of a kebab. I'll deal with him. No, you won't. Cleaning up the entrenched pests. That pest problem is getting eradicated.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he's like, wow.
Uh-oh. He did say they had lookouts. Oh, they want Bobby. Maybe they're just
Yeah, maybe. He had to get another shirt. His white one's in the wash. Oh, not even a flinch. I love it. Is it raining, men?
It's oh jeez. It's all been calculated.
Uh-huh.
Tell you what, that would burn though. Like,
Yeah, it would burn his wrists and.
He's the Angel de la Muerte.
Yes. They would smell it too.
Let's see. Huh. Does Bobby even know how to fight? Well, he knows how to do something.
Don't bad guys usually have a gun somewhere and just shoot and take him out? Ooh, maybe we cut off even more if they had. You guys are so much fun. I love hanging out with you on Diwali. You guys need to go to target practice.
He doesn't.
May I get the door for you, sir? Welcome to our new cleaner club. Soon to be under new management. Ooh, fire. Gotta watch those fire codes, man.
He's like, this place is popping, buddy.
Yeah, I like the ambience. I'm gonna have a seat here. Oh, everyone's like, oh, we gotta get out of here, guys. Oh, bad news. They're gonna try and make a scene. They're like, the upstairs dance that's going on. Still gotta get away, dude. They now have an audience of one. Hello.
Oh no, she's like, been expecting you.
The big boss back. I told you.
I think, yeah, they want Bobby for themselves. They're like, nah, you're not getting off that easy.
So, dude, ultimately, you're gonna deal with someone else.
Secure perimeter locked.
Oh, because Bobby needs to pay for some other bad habits, bad things he's done.
Yeah, because he was messing with this guy's niece.
Mm-hmm.
എസേക്കിയേൽ 25:17 പഴയ നിയമം.
Old Testament.
ഒരേ ഒരു രാജാവ്.
You must have heard the expression, I'm gonna go Old Testament on your ass.
Yeah.
Right here, man.
He did it. Yeah. Truly did it.
Everyone goes quiet. Never a good sign when you walk into the room.
Sir, ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ ആള് കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. കൊടുക്കാം.
The office is full of spies, man.
വിശദമായിട്ട് പറ.
ഹലോ. ഹലോ ഷീ.
Bum bum bum.
ഒരു മര്യാദ വേണ്ടേ?
Oh, the train going by is perfect too. You think he's a friend, and you give him a
this guy,
slap.
this guy, the guy that was in the
report, like
yeah. So let's see where
investigating journalist guy.
Yeah.
അതോട്ടല്ലേ?
Milan.
I'm with you, Tony. That guy was the guy that put a sack over your head. I wouldn't want to be near him.
Whoa, what?
നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്വന്തം.
His wife and daughter.
സ്വന്തം നാട്.
Oh, uh-oh.
Whoa, this was a shift.
This is where, like, Fyodor is from, right?
അബ്രാം. ഖുറേഷി അബ്രാം.
That... made him a little nervous.
It looks good in black.
What's he doing in Russia, though?
Got to take care of some business, I imagine. So is this like a series?
I don't know. Well, I mean, so far it isn't. I think this is the only one. Do they have more planned? I'm not sure.
Well, obviously they left it open for some planning now.
Yeah, kind of. I think they just, and yeah, they did. But I think it also shows that his work's not done.
Right. Oh, okay.
So
well,
it's
and
like that
particularly
he's
talking about, you know, what they were saying about the government and that there's still so much to do in the country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, it had one of those endings, almost like one of those like superhero films at the end when he's like, so when you're thinking about doing crime, just know that someone's out there gonna, you know,
Someone's
get vengeance
watching.
on you. Like the angel of death is coming for you, right? To me, this ending basically said, hey, you're gonna do the crime, you're gonna not do the time, but you're gonna be in the ground.
You're gonna die.
You're gonna be in the ground sooner or later. So, all right.
Oh.
Thoughts?
Oh,
Opinions?
thoughts. So up front, it's a lot of info to absorb. This is watching a movie like this because the actors are talking very, very fast. The subtitles, there's a lot of subtitle, and we're having to read really, really fast. And I find myself that I can barely have enough time to comprehend what I just read, visually see what I'm seeing, and then react at the same time.
Yeah.
So I worry that, you know, it's not that I'm not reacting, it's just that the reaction is so quick and so minor because I'm already on to the next thing, and I'm having to kind of. So I'm like, I hope our fans can understand that a little bit. That it's not that I'm not reacting and I'm not thinking and everything. It's just there's a lot to really, really absorb on these movies, and particularly in the upfront part where they were giving us all the details about all these people. It was a lot of information, and it's like having someone flash cards up at you like this, and you have a little bit of moving material that you're looking at and you're trying to read and everything. And so I find that really hard for me to fully enjoy a movie. And so there was that element. But after they got past that, it's kind of got a little bit easier because I knew what the players were, and then I was beginning to see what was happening. So right there, I was like, okay, fine, we're hitting the sweet spot on the drive here, and it's not like pulling away from the light at Mach speed. We're at cruising speed, and I can follow along with it. And at that point, the story started getting really, really good. I really liked it. There was a lot more action. We began to see and understand how things were intertied and how Stephen was pulling strings all the time. He's in jail and he's kicking back with his cellmates. I'm like going, man, that was...
Well, remember also, he has like how many years unaccounted for? 18?
Right.
So with those 18 years, maybe that's how he had made all these
Exactly.
connections. So if they ever do make another one, it'd be interesting to see how those connections play out. Maybe that's the connection in Russia or something,
Yeah.
His home base is in Russia for the 18 years when
Do
he
you
was
think
like
he
sent
has
away.
his own secret lair? I mean...
That was totally like a lair if I ever saw one. So, I mean...
The castle, you mean? That castle at the top? That was a lair. Or the one in
Well, no, that was that was like, what's his name? Fyodor.
Yeah.
That was his castle.
Yeah, that was his castle and his lair. But you thinking that Stephen has his own lair? I mean, it's a little chillax for a lair. I mean, his orphanage and
yeah,
Midway.
but that's kind of like his relaxed. That's his like summer vacation home. But his like lair, his Lucifer lair, I think maybe in Russia. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But maybe.
All right, cool.
Those 18 years are unaccounted for.
Yeah,
and we need to know what
Yeah,
happened.
we need to know what happened. So I love the acting. Such a strong presence. He can do these, just the eyes following you, letting you know that.
And you were vibing on his looks too.
Oh yeah,
You were talking about
I gotta
it.
say, he definitely well coiffed. He looks good. He's just got a good super presence, and he's a man. He's a man. He's got it. Okay,
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah. So I like that, and it's cool because his hair didn't get messed at any time in all those fights. I was
Well,
like,
in the fights, it even got just a little bit more like a little curl
it got a
coming
little curl, a little fluff to it and everything. So I liked it. And the other thing is, he's a little bit older guy. And again, I always love it when I see older guys being a superhero.
Yeah, like
know?
Rajnikant.
Yeah,
I love.
exactly.
So he's not that. I don't think he's that as old as Rajnikant is, but he is older. I'd say he's older.
Yeah, as opposed to a much younger guy, and all about the muscles and all that and so forth and that, I just like that. I think that's very cool. Again, I also liked that as we found out the story about his and how he is part of that family. And early on, we got a glimpse of what was going on when she said, I'll light the pyre. And right away she got some pushback. Woman doing that? No, all that. And then the media picked up on that and everything. And then when her brother, the youngest brother, I forgot his name already, he came in and he did his first thing. He was like, ladies, and right off the bat, I love that, again, that whole theme of women empowerment.
Yeah, but if they were, like, he knew nothing of it, and he's been away and gone. If anything, then if they really wanted to show that side, then she could have stepped up.
She could have stepped up.
Because she was around it her whole life.
Yes, but remember, he was in the U.S., okay? Stephen was gone for a while. I think there's a whole lot. I think Stephen and him were much more in touch and connected.
That he came back because of Stephen.
Right. And Priya did say that she had talked to her younger brother time to time.
Yeah.
So I think that there was already some foundational setting, and that's why Priya was kind of already, a little bit more empowered, then,
Yeah, but she was still blind
Oh,
to everything
she was
going
still-
on around her.
And that can happen. That can happen to a lot of people, particularly when you're in the position that she was in. Bobby seems just like a terrible person, and I
Should have listened to your daddy.
Yeah, and I suspect there was probably a lot of abuse towards her coming from Bobby, even at the very start of their relationship. Because if her dad was saying didn't like him, he saw things that but she was willing to live with it and thought that, this is my man, and I can change him. Yeah, that doesn't work usually. So I think that there was a lot of stuff going on there. But again, I do kind of like these little gaps because it gives a whole lot for future stories that could come out of this. So if this is going to become a series, I definitely would be watching this. This could be really good. I love that he's got his little black, army going on that, just shows up and takes care of business. And he's got his own local army, the ones that just kind of blend in and don't look like they're any sort of threat or anything, and yet they are, So I like that he's got his own cleaner crew that, takes care of the extra incidentals that happen. It's like the bodies be gone,
Yeah. I have really good news for you.
What?
2025 L2 is coming out.
See?
I just looked.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just
All
had to
right.
look it up because I'm like, there has to be. So,
Has to
and
be.
nowadays with the
Yeah.
age of like sequels and whatnot, this is perfectly primed for one. So yes,
Yes.
to
All right, so that's good to know. Good to know that we're going to do that. So let me go ahead and give it a rating. I'm going to give this a strong 8. I really enjoyed watching this. This was really good. And again, it really kind of allows that. It's a superhero on a different level, okay? Because it's, is he a superhero?
It's gray.
It's
area.
a gray area.
He was fine with like gold smuggling, so I think that was his thing. So maybe in the sequel we get to find out more about
Right,
that.
right.
But then when it came to drugs, that's where he drew a line.
So it gets into that whole genre of some of the others that we've seen of where it's the gray zone in between.
Pushpa.
Pushpa, great example. It's like the gray zone that you want to root for them. and it's a whole lot of that maybe a bit of the common man rise up against the established norm.
That was definitely his following. His following was, and you saw that with the people in the village and whatnot. We never really found any of their names, but we knew that they were part of his crew when they gave him the looks. Like,
yeah, even the little kid was,
yeah,
like
like staring daggers, dude. Okay.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. I thought it had a lot of good depth to it, and so yeah, I liked it a lot.
Well, I agree with you on a lot. Like the beginning of the movie was really tough to get into. I don't know Indian politics very well at all. So I'm dealing with that, and I'm dealing with not understanding the language at all. So the subtitles, as you said, were really quick, and it was like trying to read, and so many of the times like it was like I'm trying to read as fast as I can, and then they switch to the next one. That guy doing the whole live cam about him divulging all this information about all the players, I mean, whoa. I could barely keep up with him, and I'm like trying to speed read and skip all the like the conjunction words and stuff, and just speed read all the important words, and still it was really tough. So, but yes, and there were a lot of players introduced really quickly, and I'm just like trying to think like, is there a better way to do that? This movie was still like 3 hours, so if they took more time with that, it would just be even more of a 3-hour movie. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but it was very difficult to get into in the beginning. And I think even you said like, oh man, if it continues like this, it's going to be really boring of a movie because it's just a lot of reading. And it's like, I don't have time to look at the visuals because I'm reading so much. I could just read a book about this and then just use my imagination. So it was hard to get into in the beginning, but as soon as all of that was out of the way and we were knowing the characters and all of the players and stuff like that, it was a lot easier to get into the story. I liked a lot of the themes and what was going on about it and about Steven's character. It intrigued me, but I don't get into stories as much if there isn't a struggle for the hero. as much. And in this, there really wasn't. He went to prison, but again, when he went to prison, it was kind of on his own terms. When he went to prison, he wasn't worried about it at all. He's like, oh, I'm just in here gonna chill and meet some people, right? And they had kind of a bit of a party.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So even when he was in jail, it wasn't really like a down. It was kind of just like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to hang here. He's like, I've been in worse. I lived in Russia or something. I'm assuming he lived in Russia. So he didn't really, and then in all of the fights, he got hit maybe like 3 times.
Yeah.
And so it was like, even the fights, he wasn't worried and all that, which is really cool in a way, because then it's like, yeah, this guy kicks so much ass that you don't have to worry about him. He's not going to get injured in the fight. But again, like for me to like really get in, so it just felt like I was skimming the surface of just like not really digging too deep into a story or feeling too deep for it, because I just felt like he's going to win. He's the hero. He's going to win in the end. Not a single moment passed where I thought he was not going to win.
Right.
Through this whole movie.
Well, maybe in L2 we get to see his arc.
Maybe.
It goes back.
I mean, there's a lot they could do with the sequel. But, you know, and I don't know. It just seemed like he always had the answer. He was always on top, and he never had a struggle to go through. So it was just, I liked it. It was still interesting, and it played out really well. But I think that is what I would have needed in the movie to maybe really like it a lot more. I'm going to give it a 7 because I think it was still very entertaining. I liked his screen presence, as you said. This is the first movie where we've really gotten to see his acting. As I said, he had that cameo in Jailer, which was really fun, you know, seeing him in that. But again, it was just a small little tidbit. So seeing a full movie like this was really good of Mohanlal. You know, he's great. He's a good-looking guy. He clearly has that presence on screen. He has the looks nailed down. And it was cool watching him, but I just wish there was more of that, like, ups and downs, which we might have gotten in another movie.
I can see that. I can see that, definitely.
And this did suffer a little bit from a random musical number. The one where the girls were belly dancing, and then they started cutting in, splicing in like them like securing the area. But there was a good like almost 3-4 minutes where I was like, what? Like, why are we here? All of a sudden, we just cut to this. There was no context to it at all.
That was why I said, I did the check-in that I did. I said, this is the secret club, isn't it? The hidden club in the middle of the city. Because I was like going, that's the only connection that I can see here. Because one, there was no subtitles for any of the songs, so I had no idea what the lyrics were saying and everything. And I mean, I'm like going, okay, I think they're at the club. You know?
Maybe if we understood, maybe if there were subtitles, I wouldn't have been as bored, because like just watching it, it had a cool beat, so I liked the beat, and the dancing was good.
And maybe some of the maybe the song was saying something, you know, was tying it all together, saying you know, there's a day coming up, it's gonna happen, you know, you're gonna be ready, and you gotta party.
Then, I don't know. It was like a few minutes before they started cutting in to tie it into the story that I was just like, wow, we're really into the story. Now all of a sudden we have a dance number. And you know, that always like kind of pulls me out. I love the ones that really tie in like from the beginning. Like, you know, like this is Indian cinema and there are good musical numbers in so many of these movies. And even this, like I said, had a good beat and stuff. Once it started getting tied into the story, I enjoyed it a heck of a lot more. But for the first couple minutes when it was just random women doing belly dance, and then maybe she wasn't so random, maybe she's like an actress that is a cameo that is big in the film industry, because when they introduced the song, it was just showing her eyes.
Right.
So that made me think that this is like a cameo role.
Well, for a second there, I thought it was like, it's not Priya, and it's like
like
the daughter.
Daughter of
I'm like going, those are the two, and then I was like, okay, the only other female that was the media person. So I'm like going, and that's
why I think it might have been a cameo of like maybe someone that is famous, but I don't know the industry well enough to recognize her. But to me, it looked like a cameo because how it cut in on her eyes and then showed her eyes, which might be famous, and then. You know, then it went into the whole dancing scene. So, I mean, she is amazing at dancing. So if she is famous, I could see why. Like, you're dancing. I don't know.
It's not like we were booing her off the stage or anything like that. It's just, if you're going to do a dance number, let's have it at least kind of tie in a little bit so we just don't suddenly like, oh, was this a break here or something?
Personal preference. I mean, there's people that enjoy stuff like that. I'm just speaking purely on a personal preference. That's it. Again, I like the movie. 7 is, still good. I've rated movies a lot.
Oh, yeah, we
worse.
have.
So, but I really did enjoy it, and I am interested to see more in it.
Now
like
that we
you
know
are,
L2,
the sequel,
yeah.
L2. I didn't see when it's releasing other than 2025. So maybe we'll get a trailer, unless there's a trailer out already. Maybe a teaser or
we'll have
something.
to
So
look.
we'll
We'll have to
take a look for that. But you guys let us know in the comments what you thought. What would you rate it? And since we are very new to the industry, please let us know what did we miss, because I'm sure there's tons of things that we've missed in this movie, because there's probably Easter eggs. Whenever you get a hero like Mohanlal or Rajnikant, there's always Easter eggs to their film history, because he has been in a number of films, super famous guy, so I'm sure that there are Easter eggs that we completely missed.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to hear those and get to know more of those.
And then also, as always, we love when you can tell us cultural things that we just don't know or don't pick up on. Like, again, the picking up of the
Lungi.
the
But that's,
lungi,
to me,
and how, when it's up, when it's down,
Well,
how
no,
it's carried,
it's-
and so forth. I don't understand how that all works.
I think it's the intimidation thing, because when you bring it up, your legs are free to move. But
Right.
when they're down, imagine trying to fight. So basically, when you lift it up, to me, it's like, oh, it's on. It's like the gloves are off, right?
all right.
So it's like throwing the gauntlet.
But like,
so when
what's
you
the
pull
normal
it up,
etiquette though on it? What's the normal
then you
etiquette?
leave it down,
Then I
because
leave
it's
it down?
proper. That's political, right? So like politics and stuff, you leave it down. You're all wearing like the white and all that.
yeah.
But you lift it up, and you like it's,
when you're going to get down to business, you got to lift it up.
It's
Okay,
game-
I get it.
It's
I
game
get it.
time, because
Okay.
your legs are
All right,
free
I
to
get
move
it.
and
I
kick
get it.
and
Okay, all right.
whatever, and you can scrap.
Oh, okay.
So lifting it up to me means it's time to scrap.
Okay, cool.
I don't know, but let us know, because
us
I could
know.
be completely wrong. But to me, it's intimidation. Like, oh yeah, like in a way.
It's like hold my beer.
No, I would say it's like rolling your sleeves up.
That's true. Could
Like
yeah.
when you pull your sleeves up like that, and then you're ready to
Exactly.
duke it out.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would think.
Okay.
But anyway, I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But
So let us know. Let us know.
and keep the suggestions coming. I really enjoy these films. So thank you for this recommendation. This was actually recommended quite a bit.
Good.
So yeah. And if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you like these videos and you want to see more videos like these, then be sure to turn on all notifications by clicking the bell. And please upvote the video by slapping the like button.